Chapter 7, Ground Vehicle Fuel Facility, UFC 34603, November 10th, 2017. UFC 34603, November 10th, 2017. Unified Security Petroleum Fuel System Maintenance approved for public release distribution unlimited. Alright, Chapter 7, Ground Vehicle Fuel Facility. This chapter contains the inspection maintenance information associated with the ground vehicle fuel systems, dispenser nozzles that meets requirement Unified Guidelines Spec 335700, bulk fuel, receiving and dispensing equipment designed automatically closed when the dispenser nozzle handle is released. The dispenser nozzle vacuum sensing port is blocked by petroleum fuel as it will cause the internal poppet valve to close. This feature helps to prevent overfilling the vehicle tanks. The dispenser nozzle can also be equipped with the automatic nozzle shut-off clips that allow the operator to latch the dispenser nozzle opening during fuel spin. Saying the dispenser nozzle senses fuel at the vacuum sensing port, shuts off the clips, disengaged nozzle cloak, does not remove the automatic shut-off clips of the ground vehicle fuel dispenser nozzles. Dispenser nozzles should have splash guards in case of overfill. Inspection maintenance. Dispenser nozzle spout, ensure that the tight and round that has no cracks, excessive wear. Inspect automatic shut hole, ensure hole is open with the free of obstructions. Inspect nozzle, hold on open the latch, ensure the latch is straight, moves freely, returns the string, operates correctly. Inspect the body of the nozzle, ensure the body is in good condition, the valve stem isn't clean and free of fuel. Inspect the nozzle to hose connection, ensure it is clean and free of fuel daily. Dispenser nozzles handles must be inspected with the expiration date established by the manufacturer. Nozzles must be replaced before indicated expiration date monthly. Test the automatic shut-off feature. Ensure the operating pressure with a tested automatic shut-off valve. Shut off all the nozzle handle, all latch position. 7.3 Dispenser nozzles. Dispenser nozzles meet with the requirements Unified Guidelines Spec 335700, bulk fuel. Receiving and dispensing equipment designed to transfer petroleum fuel from the dispenser for the mail order vehicle fuel tanks. Hoses must be reinforced with metallic metal mesh. Prevents kink and collapse. Reinforcement mesh also provides the conductive path of the direct static charges to the ground. Outer surface for the hose must be resistant to abrasion, cuts, degradation from surrounding environment. No more than 6 feet of the dispenser hose may touch the ground. Retractors may be installed with elevate long print dispenser hoses. Dispenser hoses are with a working pressure of 220 psi do not require annual pressure testing. Dispenser systems equipped with stage 2 vapor recovery equipment require coaxial hoses, which are used to provide path and reclaim vapor fuels. Return to the petroleum fuel storage tank. Inspection maintenance. Dispenser hoses. Inspection dispenser hoses, whips, gouges, cuts, blisters outside wear may lead to the rupture during use. Replace hose and hose whips that will show signs of wear. Inspect connection points of hoses, hose whips with the dispenser breakaway. Swivel the nozzles and ensure the connection points are clean and free of fuel daily. 7.4 Breakaways. Fuel hose breakaway to meet the requirements of Unified Guidelines Spec 335700. Bulk fuel. Receiving the dispensing equipment and use the connection dispenser hose dispensing units. Break what is designed as disconnecting hose dispensers if and hose are subject to strong tensile strength such as strong pulling forces. Breakaways or a double bonnet system designed to close and off fuel flow. 741 Inspection maintenance breakaway. Inspection breakaway, loose connection, signs of damage and poppets to ensure the breakaways are clean and free of fuel daily. Inspect breakaway with the expiration date established by the manufacturer. Breakaways must be replaced before expiration date monthly. Swivels. Fuel hose swivels installed between the dispenser nozzles and hose are provided with the flexibility of reducing strain with the hose with allowing nozzles to rotate around the swivel. This also makes it easier to operate with a handle hose during fuel dispensing. Inspection of the maintenance swivel. Inspection of the swivel with loose connection, signs of damage. Ensure swivel that rotates easily, isn't clean and free of fuel daily. Inspect swivel and expiration date established by the manufacturer. Swivel must be replaced before the indicated expiration date monthly. Your hose retriever. 7.6 Hose retrievers support the hose and limit the contact of the hose to the ground. Inspection maintenance of the hose retriever to test hose retriever to ensure that operating correctly, supporting with the hose frequently monthly. 7.7 The dispenser cabinet. Dispenser cabinets enclose the interconnecting components of the fuel dispenser for the cabinets. Protect the inner components from elements. Protect the connection points of the underground supply piping. Inspection of the dispenser cabinet. Inspect outside cabinet. Ensure secure, free of damage inside the fuel strain of the concrete island, the cabinet, and on the outside of the cabinet. Ensure the cabinet is free of dirt and fuel monthly. Open both sides of the cabinet. Inspect the insides of the cabinet. Ensure that the inside of the cabinet and all the components inside of the cabinet are clean and free of dirt monthly. Ensure the door panels lock and operate easily. Inspect the anchor bolts of the cabinet of the dispenser island. Ensure the bolts are in good condition annually. Dispenser meters allow the operator to monitor the amount of fuel dispensed with a given with the vehicle tank. With the intelligent dispenser meters can reconcile fuel dispense against the operating storage tank level, the tank ratings, and the verified usage meters are able to constantly recalibrate due to changes in the temperature effect with the volumetric flow rate. Inspect and maintenance dispenser meters. Inspect meters. Ensure the meter is clean, free of fuel. Ensure calibration mechanism is sealed monthly. Since moving points inside the meters are subject to wear with the periodic calibration necessary, meters must be recalibrated using a certified 5-gallon prover or other approved method. Meters are considered satisfactory for further operation when the IR does not exceed 0.2% of the actual quantity delivered annually. 7.9 Dispenser filters. Dispenser filters meet the requirements of Unified Guidelines Spec 335700. Bulk fuel receiving and dispensing equipment used to collect particles and fuel system replace filters must meet minimum 25 microns. Inspection maintenance dispenser filters. Inspectors ensure filters clean, free of fuel with the filter labeled and is legible and installation date monthly. Replace the dispenser filters annually with a change of flow rate is noted with the frequency annually or as needed. Dispenser strainers design and capture particles with the protect dispenser pumps and meters and self-contained units, meters and remote units. Inspection maintenance of the dispenser strainers. Inspect cleaner strainers. Inspect the strainer cover gaskets for crack, distortion, dry rot, and breaks detected with the strainer mesh and replace the strainer frequency annually. 7.11 Ground vehicle fuel piping. Underground lines for the ground vehicle fuel petroleum products must be constructed within accordance with UFC 346001 Design Petroleum Fuel Facilities Title 40 CFR Part 280 Technical Standard Corrective Action Requirements for owners and operators of underground storage tanks. In addition to Title 40 CFR Part 280 Technical Standards Corrective Action Requirements, owners operators of the underground storage tanks, host nation, state, and local regulations may have additional design inspection maintenance requirements and may be stringent for the DoD, federal guidance, and facility operator maintainers must be familiar with the spill prevention countermeasure plan in order to comply with all the inspection record keeping. Inspection maintenance of the ground vehicle fuel piping. Visual inspect the above ground line, the leaks, the shutdown systems that are found, leaks and the repairs daily. Visually inspect the detection system installed in the underground piping. The inspection include the line leaking detectors, leaking detection sensors installed with the transition pump sumps and dispenser sumps. Perform leaking tests as pressurized underground piping when installed with the leaking detection equipment of the record result monthly. Test the leak detection system installed with the underground piping system used with the ground vehicle with the petroleum fuel products underground leaking detection system include with the discrete detection sensors installed with the transition dispenser sumps and with the line leak detectors installed with the outlet pumps used to supply with the pressurized liquid petroleum fuel to the underground lines. Repair faulty components of excavation. Execution of the work may require state certification and license annually. Conduct service station above ground piping annual tests and install outlined in Appendix G of the petroleum fuel pipeline pressure testing guidelines and criteria. Execution of the work may require state certification or license annually. Conduct service station underground piping annual testing under Appendix G petroleum fuel pipeline pressure testing guidelines criteria. Execution of the work may require state certification and license annually. Refer to Section 2.7 for signage and marketing for the inspection maintenance for the requirements of ground vehicle petroleum fuel piping marks. 6.10 above ground piping equipment coatings, inspection maintenance requirements for the ground vehicle petroleum fuel piping coatings. Alright, 7.12 with emergency shutoff valves or shear valves. Emergency shutoff valves that meet requirements for the Unified Guidelines Spec 335700 bulk fuel receiving and dispensing equipment are located on the base ground. Vehicle fuel dispenser designed to close with a dispenser struck with exposed to fire. Emergency shutoff valve is securely mounted with a stabilizer installed in the containment sump mounted under the dispenser. The valve is designed to break at the weak point of the body of the valve within the dispenser struck and dislodge. The valve is also designed to close the valve and subject to the shock with the impact of the dispenser. In addition, with a valve that's equipped with a fusible link that will melt the event of the fire, causing the valve to close. Should the emergency shutoff valve. Alright, inspection maintenance, emergency shutoff shear valves, install stabilizers and ensure that securely mounted below the base of the dispenser. Inspect the mounting bolts for the secure of the emergency shutoff valve with the stabilizer monthly. Inspect fusible link, ensure that it is not obstructed, ensure the valve body is clean and free of the fuel monthly. Inspect mechanical links for the valve, correct operation, conduct test valve to ensure that it operates correctly. Execution of the work may require state certification and license. 7.13 dispenser pumps, dispenser sumps are used to protect and provide access valve solids and fuel pump installed below the dispenser. Inspection maintenance of the dispenser's pumps. Inspection of the signs of water, fuel, trash, debris inside the sump. Removal of the properly disposed of collected water, fuel, trash, debris. Visually inspect the penetration fittings. If fuel water is detected, investigate source of the repair monthly or more often based on local conditions. Inspection of the sump, pump, sump, pipe, transition, fittings, tears, cracks, and other signs of deterioration. Check for the hose clamp seals. Ensure they are securely tightened quarterly. Test dispenser sumps. Ensure that the liquid tight with each of the vacuum pressure liquid testing according to the Title 40 CFR 280, Section 43 frequency every 3 years. Transition sumps. Your transition sumps are used to protect the piping of the transition above ground to below ground. In many cases, the piping will change the configuration transition above ground to underground pipe. Inspection maintenance transition sumps. Inspection of the signs of water, fuel, trash, debris inside the sump. Remove the properly disposed collected water, fuel, trash, debris. Visually inspect penetration, fittings, and fuel water detected. Investigate source of the repair monthly or more often based on the local conditions. Inspect sump pipe and the piping transition, the tears and cracks, and single the deterioration. Check the hose clamp seals with ensure that it's securely tight and quarterly. Test sumps extremes with the liquid tight using vacuum pressure and liquid testing according to the Title 40 CFR 280 and Section 43 every 3 years. Alright, dispenser pumps. Dispenser pumps are either installed with an integral unit with a fuel dispenser as a remote pump. The integral pumps are typically sliding vane pumps installed with the base of the dispenser unit. Remote pumps are the typically submerged turbine pumps mounted on the petroleum fuel storage tanks. Remote dispenser pumps, fuel dispenser remote pump systems do not house pumps. Remote dispensers pumps are typically tank mounted submerged turbine pumps. Manufacturer's instruction to install the operation maintenance will further describe pumping units and part requiring periodic inspection and maintenance. Inspection maintenance of remote dispenser pumps. Refer to Section 79121 automatic line detector, leak detector. The maintenance of the requirements of the automatic line detectors installed on the submersible turbine pumps. Inspection. Refer to Section 3813 vertical turbine submerged turbine pumps for inspection maintenance requirements of remote dispenser pumps. 715.2 self-contained dispenser pumps. Self-contained dispenser pumps, typically belt driven slide vane, the type of the positive displacement mounted on the dispenser housing. Pump draw fuel with the dispenser, creating suction with the fuel line attached with the petroleum fuel storage tank. 715.2.1 inspection maintenance self-contained dispenser pumps. Inspection self-contained dispenser pump V-belts drive with the proper tension and excessive wear of the place of the belt with a recommended manufacturer monthly. Inspect the pump body with the pump body clean and free of fuel, and inspect the air eliminator. Ensure air eliminator is clean and free of fuel with the vent in the tube if it's not obstructed monthly. Your emergency fuel shutoff valve system. Emergency fuel shutoff system. Disable the power to dispense for the service of the station or the typical military service of the station unattended with the required keys and cards that operate with the dispenser. Emergency fuel shutoff valve, shutoff buttons deactivate the dispenser. Typically installed with close proximity to the dispenser. This is 20 to 100 feet away from the dispenser. Emergency fuel shutoff systems can be activated by pushing one of the emergency fuel shutoff fuel buttons. Inspection maintenance. Inspection and emergency fuel shutoff. Check the operation emergency fuel shutoff system activation fuel system. Pressing the emergency fuel shutoff buttons. Ensure that each button disables the power to all the dispenser fuel pumps installed with the service station quarterly. Refer to sections 27 with the signage marking for the inspection maintenance the requirements of the emergency fuel shutoff push button signs. 717 vapor recovery. Vapor recovery at service station typically classified in stage 1, stage 2. These type of systems require with the fuel with the high vapor pressure for the many stages for the military service stations. Applications are usually limited to motor gasoline or MOGAS. Stage 1 vapor recovery. Stage 1 vapor grabs due to the bulk where with the issued operation typically would include the vapor balance pipe with the balance pipe with the tube that connect with the head of the space of the fuel storage tank to the head space of the fuel truck. This allows the vapor to move between the fuel storage and the fuel truck during receipt and SU operation. Inspection maintenance. Stage 1 recovery. Vapor recovery. Inspect vapor recovery hoses, gouges, clutches, outside wear for the resolve of the vapor leaks daily or before each use. Inspect caps of cam lock fittings of the tightness and leaks for it quarterly. First, Section 711 ground vehicle fuel piping inspection maintenance requirements. Stage 1 recovery piping. Alright, 717.2, Stage 2 Vapor Recovery. Stage 2 Vapor Recovery includes a collection of vapor to dispenser nozzle, may also include the collection of vapor depending on the normal tank operation. In most cases, the system of the vacuum pumps them out of the dispenser that collect and transfer the petroleum fuel storage tanks. Stage 2 Vapor Recovery is no longer a federal requirement, but still required by some states. Existing Stage 2 Vapor Recovery systems may be phased out in accordance with state regulations. State regulations, Stage 2 Vapor Recovery systems that have not been decommissioned, whether they require or not, and must be still maintained and inspected in accordance with stage regulation. Inspection maintenance of Stage 2 Vapor Recovery. The sub approved with the vendor of the Stage 2 Vapor Recovery system consult with the manufacturer operation maintenance manual with the provide with the system with a periodic maintenance requirement. 17.3 of the vapor burners or the combustible vapors in the tanks and otherwise use the vendor of the atmosphere. Inspection of vapor burners. Or consult with the manufacturer operation maintenance manual that is provided with the system's specific period maintenance requirements of the unit installed with inspect the vapor burners to ensure the pilot flame of the system is operating properly with the fan ducts work. Dampers may also be inspected to ensure the proper air of the fuel vapor to make sure allow for the complete burn for quarterly. Inspect the burn knockout pots and condense fuel vapors for water if it is equipped quarterly. Inspect thermal wells with gas detection monitors operable quarterly. 718 Tactical refueling loading. Tactical refueling loading operation military service station similar to the petroleum fuel truck system issue systems. Refer to Section 351 truck issue inspection maintenance requirements of tactical refuel or loading equipment. 719 Electrical release detection monitoring. General inspection release detection system. Release detection systems are designed to quickly detect fuel leaks and conceal the underground ports of the fueling system. A licensed and certified technician required with the troubleshoot inspect leaks and release of the sensor for the operation. Issue with the suspected above appropriate military specific service criteria per point installation environment. Other personnel who should be contacted for support for the spill prevention spill prevention control and countermeasure plan for the further direction of who to contact. Your point sensor dry sensors are installed with the lowest point with the space between the fueling system secondary barrier. The dry sensors send a signal to the monitoring panel indication liquid detection. Dry point or sensors may include float switches, electrical resistors, switches. The licensed certified technician is required for the troubleshoot and inspect dry point sensors for operation. These sensors are placed in a low point system that dispenser fuel point pipes, transition sumps, continuously monitoring the pressure of the fuel or water in the sumps. Inspection maintenance. Point sensor dry. Ensure the monitoring panel associated with the point sensor powered on and no alarms are present daily. Ensure monitoring space is clear and free of debris liquid monthly. Test sensor ensure that it is functionally annually. 719.12 Automatic line detector. Automatic line detector systems use the underground pressurized piping to alert the operator with the presence of the leaking restriction shut off of the fluid from the piping visual alarm. Automatic line leak detectors are commonly installed with the submersible turbines, less commonly installed with the light and remotely on the other pump types. And 719.121 inspection maintenance automatic line detector. Ensure there is monitoring panel associated with the detectors powered on no alarms are present daily. Simulate 3 gallons per hour leak at 10 pounds per square inch for the automatic line leak detector must activate within 1 hour. Licensed and certified technician is required to test and troubleshoot calibrate operation and frequency annually. 720 visual release detection monitoring visual monitoring release detection method utilizing inspection ports to visualize inspection presence of liquid. And 720.11 inspection maintenance visual monitoring, visually inspect inspection ports and signs of leaks, remove debris and foreign objects obstructing the view, frequency weekly. Chapter 8 Petroleum Storage Tanks.